Hello Golden State Warriors fans, we are here once again to bring you the latest news related to our team, and I would like to emphasize how committed we are to improving our performance to achieve great results. Before we dive into this intriguing news, I kindly request you to show your support by clicking the like button, and if you are not yet subscribed to our channel, I invite you all to join us on an exciting journey. Remember to turn on notifications so you don't miss anything.
This NBA rule could force the Warriors to lose Jonathan Kuminga for nothing. It's the kind of scenario that fans don't think about until it's too late. But behind the scenes, a perfect storm is brewing in Golden State, one that could end with the Warriors losing Jonathan Kuminga this summer, for absolutely nothing in return. That's not a typo. It's not clickbait. It's just how the NBA's rules work, and how quickly things can shift when talent, timing, and team fit don't align. Kuminga's uncertain role raises red flags. As the Warriors fight for postseason life, Kuminga is barely clinging to his place in Steve Kerr's rotation. His minutes have dropped, his rhythm has faded, and his future with the team, once considered part of the franchise's long-term core, suddenly looks fragile. Head coach Steve Kerr attributes the shift in part to the addition of Jimmy Butler and Kuminga's struggle to adapt next to him. That chemistry hasn't materialized, and it's made Kuminga expendable at the worst possible time. And now the Warriors face a real risk. The 22-year-old forward could walk away this summer in restricted free agency, and Golden State might not be able to stop it, or even profit from it. Restricted free agency. But with a catch. On paper, the Warriors hold the upper hand. Kuminga is entering restricted free agency, which gives Golden State the right to match any offer he receives. Simple enough, right? Well, not exactly. There aren't many teams with the cap space to make a serious play for Kuminga. According to projections, only the Brooklyn Nets are currently expected to have more than $25 million in cap room this summer. And that makes them the only team realistically positioned to offer the $30+ million annually that Kuminga's camp has floated in the past. If the Nets step up with that kind of offer, the Warriors will face a tough decision. But what if they don't? That's where things get complicated, and potentially costly for Golden State. The base year compensation rule could kill any trade. Because Kuminga is coming off a rookie deal and is eligible for a raise exceeding 20% of his current $7.6 million salary, he falls under the NBA's base year compensation, BYC rule. And this rule can completely torpedo any potential sign-and-trade deal. Here's how it works. In any trade involving Kuminga, the Warriors will have to account for his outgoing salary as either his 2025-26 salary or 50% of the first year of his new contract, whichever is greater. But the team acquiring him must count 100% of that new deal on their books. Let's say Kuminga signs for $30 million annually. His new team would need to send back $30 million in salary to make a trade work. But for the Warriors, he'd only count as $15 million going out. That mismatch makes sign-and-trade deals incredibly hard to execute, especially for a team like Golden State, already navigating tight financial margins and lacking the cap space to absorb much in return. Bottom line, if Kuminga walks in free agency, the Warriors may not be able to stop him. And if they try to trade him, the math could block every realistic option. So, who could actually make a deal work? According to Spotrac, the Warriors are projected to start the offseason roughly $25 million below the first tax apron, so there's some room, but not much. A team like Brooklyn could just sign Kuminga outright and keep their assets. Detroit, if it gets creative, could open over $20 million in cap space by renouncing free agents like Tim Hardaway Jr. and Malik Beasley. But again, why would they gut their roster to make room when they could use the non-taxpayer mid-level exception, $14.1 million projected, to chase a quality player without giving up anyone? This is the trap Golden State is in. There are only a handful of teams with the flexibility and motivation to make a deal for Kuminga worthwhile, and even fewer willing to send anything of value back to the Bay. Preserving an asset, or letting one slip. The Warriors' front office faces a delicate balance. They want to preserve the asset, matching any offer that comes Kuminga's way. But that assumes he maintains trade value. If they match a $30 million deal and Kuminga underperforms, they're stuck with a potential negative asset and a bloated payroll. And that's a scenario ownership might not be willing to stomach. On the flip side, if interest around the league cools and Kuminga's next deal falls in the $15 to $20 million range, suddenly Golden State regains some leverage. At that price, they could keep him or move him more easily in the future. But if a team like Brooklyn does throw big money his way, the Warriors may be powerless to respond. Without a viable sign-and-trade option, they could watch the former no. 7 overall pick walk for nothing. The stakes are quietly massive. Jonathan Kuminga isn't just a young player with upside, he's one of the last remaining threads connecting the Warriors' old dynasty to whatever comes next. Losing him for nothing would be a brutal blow to a franchise already walking a tightrope between contention and a full-blown reset. For now, all Golden State can do is wait. Wait for offers. Wait for clarity. Wait to see if Kuminga forces their hand, or if the market softens enough to give them a way out. Either way, it's a reminder of how quickly potential can slip through your fingers in today's NBA, and how a single rule, tucked away in the CBA fine print, might decide a franchise's future. The Warriors should turn the Rockets' past playoff nightmares into present-day fuel. It's been years, but Rockets fans still flinch at the memory. Yes, this version of the Warriors-Rockets playoff matchup looks different. Golden State is leaning heavily on its aging core, while Houston showcases a young, athletic, high-energy squad. But the underlying dynamic? It feels eerily familiar. Once again, the Warriors enter the series as favorites. And once again, the Rockets are trying to prove they're more than just a scrappy upstart team. But if history has taught us anything, it's that Stephen Curry and the Warriors know exactly how to rise when the lights are brightest, especially against Houston. And this time, Golden State has a powerful psychological weapon, the scars they left behind. The weight of history still hangs over Houston. For over a decade, the Warriors have been Houston's postseason boogeyman. Series after series, superstar after superstar, no matter who the Rockets put on the floor, the outcome was the same. Golden State didn't just beat Houston. They broke them. Their playoff history is lopsided, 16 wins to 7 losses. 0 series lost. Countless iconic moments, all in favor of the Bay. Take the 2015 Western Conference Finals. Curry averaged a blistering 31.2 points per game as the Warriors dismissed a James Harden, Dwight Howard, led Rockets team in just 5 games, launching their dynasty and leaving Houston reeling. Then there was 2016. Curry missed 4 games due to injury, and the Warriors still handled Houston in 5, winning all 4 of their victories by 20-plus points. It wasn't close. Fast forward to 2018, Western Conference Finals. Rockets fans still haven't recovered from it. A hardened, star-powered Houston team with Harden and Chris Paul pushed the Warriors to the brink, only to miss 27 straight threes in Game 7. Golden State survived and advanced, with Curry averaging 25 and Draymond Green hauling in an insane 83 rebounds across the series. Even in 2019, when Harden went nuclear, 34.8 ppg, the result was the same. Golden State in 6. Another heartbreak. Another reminder, when it came to the playoffs, the Warriors always had the final word. Same energy, new names, but the pressure remains. Now in 2025, the teams look different. The Rockets are no longer chasing a title with MVPs and max contracts. They're building one brick at a time. Their current roster is young, gritty, and fearless. Players like Jalen Green, Jabari Smith Jr., and Alperen Sengun are stepping into the postseason for the first time. But that lack of experience? It matters. Because playoff pressure doesn't just come from your opponent, it comes from your own fans, your city's expectations, and the ghosts that haunt the banners above. The only veterans on this Houston squad with true playoff experience are Fred VanVleet and Steven Adams. The rest are stepping into the fire for the first time, and it just so happens they're doing it against a team that's made a career of torching them. This is where Golden State must strike. Not just on the scoreboard, but in the psyche. Toyota Center still remembers. When Steph Curry walks onto the floor at Toyota Center, you can bet the fans will remember. Every dagger 3. Every celebratory shimmy. Every heartbreak. And the Warriors need to lean into that. If they can keep games close on the road, force Houston to feel the weight of expectation, the echo of past collapses, those emotions could start to crack the Rockets' composure. Youth doesn't always wilt under pressure, but inexperience often does. Golden State's advantage isn't just experience on the court. It's memory. It's trauma. It's reputation. And that stuff carries in the playoffs. A new series, but familiar stakes. Sure, this isn't 2015. This isn't the KD era. But the Warriors still have Steph. Still have Draymond. Still have that championship DNA, and a deeper understanding of what playoff basketball demands than this young Houston squad has ever experienced. So while the names and faces may have changed, the script doesn't have to. Golden State doesn't need to be perfect to win this series. They just need to tap into the doubt that's already lingering in the minds of Rockets fans, and maybe, just maybe, in the Rockets themselves. Golden State's opportunity to strike first. That's why Game 1 is crucial. For all the youth and energy the Rockets bring, playoff series are often won in the opening blows. The Warriors know how to set a tone, and how to plant seeds of doubt early. Steph Curry, ever the floor general, doesn't need to drop 40 to rattle Houston. He just needs to control the tempo, frustrate their defensive rotations, and remind them, possession by possession, that this isn't just another regular season game. This is playoff basketball. This is legacy basketball. And for the Rockets, every mistake, every missed rotation, every late closeout will be amplified, not just by the Warriors, but by their own fan base, still scarred by previous exits. National media already watching closely. The basketball world is watching this series not just to see if Golden State has one more run in them, but also to gauge whether Houston's rebuild has truly matured. National pundits like Zach Lowe and Brian Windhorst have already highlighted the psychological edge the Warriors might carry into this matchup. "You can't underestimate playoff experience," Lowe said on the Lowe Post. "And you especially can't underestimate what it means when your experience includes breaking this exact team's heart over and over." The pressure isn't just local. It's narrative-driven. If Houston stumbles early, the national conversation will quickly turn from exciting young core to not ready for the moment. Steve Kerr knows how to weaponize history. Don't think for a second that Steve Kerr isn't aware of this dynamic. One of his greatest coaching strengths has always been understanding the emotional flow of a series, when to push buttons, when to lean on veterans, and when to remind his team and the opponent who owns the mental edge. Privately, Kerr and his staff will likely be encouraging the Warriors to lean into that history, to test Houston's discipline, to see how the crowd reacts if they fall behind, to see how those young legs feel in a pressure cooker. Because make no mistake, this is as much a mental game as it is physical. Houston's young core must prove it can handle the heat. To their credit, the Rockets aren't shying away from the challenge. Draymond Green told reporters after practice, "We know the history. But we're not them. This is a new chapter." Coach Ime Udoka echoed that sentiment, saying the team is focused on now, not 5 years ago. But talk is easy. Execution under pressure is a different story. Can Green stay efficient when Draymond Green is barking in his ear every possession? Can Jabari Smith Jr. stretch the floor without getting hunted on switches? Can Alperen Sengun handle the chaos of a Steph-led pick-and-roll for 7 games? The questions are fair. And fair or not, the ghosts of Rockets' past will be in the building. What's at stake for the Warriors? This isn't just another series for Golden State either. With Klay Thompson's future uncertain, Draymond a year older, and Steph entering his late 30s, this could be the last ride for the championship trio that changed the game. There's urgency here, but it's measured urgency, the kind that comes from knowing exactly how much a single playoff run can mean. A loss to an inexperienced Rockets team wouldn't just end a season, it might signal the final chapter of a dynasty. And that's exactly why the Warriors need to strike early, hard, and decisively. They need to make this about more than talent or matchups. They need to make it about history, about psychology, about legacy. Because in that arena, no one plays the game better than Golden State.